Hey guys, welcome to episode 16 of the Converted Podcast. I am Bell Schnickel from the Convert to Raid Guild on Aerie Peak, and with me I have...
I'm Sal. In today's episode, we have Fight Club as our raid team spotlight. Sal's heading to New York City.
New York City? Sorry, I had to do that.
Raid. We're just raiding. And the Converted Roundtable tells you how to find a raid team. Bell Schnickel, how's your week been?
Yo, it's been good, man. I've been getting my raid on, doing a little flex action, a little normal action, some LFR with you guys on Tuesday, which has been pretty fun.
Yeah. We've been hanging out. That's cool.
Yeah, man, it's good stuff, man. Team has got 3 bosses down. We got a little help from Beer Nerd last night, which helped out a lot. Yeah, he's got some crazy deeps, man. He's on his hunter, man. He's doing his thing, so that was nice. And been doing some of that, man. I've been farming those rune stones, man. And I gotta tell you, man, there's nothing I hate more than Blizzard putting stuff in the game that kind of like makes you have to do stuff you don't want to do. And I know they're not making you do it. Like, you don't have to have this stuff, but really, if you want to raid competitively, you have to have this stuff. I mean, you gotta have the cape, you gotta have the meta. So I just hate that stuff. And just to make matters worse, I get the 12 stones, and then now I got to go back in and kill Lei Shin for the 900th time again. Like, I haven't killed the guy enough times. Like, I could have taken every body part from the guy. Now I need to get his head or something. So his heart, whatever. So it's like one of those things. I have to go back in there and kill him again. I thought I was done with him, but I should be getting that. I'm like the last person in the entire guild probably to get their cape. But I'll get it this week, so that'll be good. But it's been good, man. I've been getting in the game and raiding with the peeps, man, and it's all good. It's all gravy. What about yourself, man? What have you been up to?
I'm doing all levels of raiding. In fact, I wrote an article that went on GameBreaker.tv today about the different levels of raiding.
You're like a big-time writer, man. What's the deal? Like, you kind of play it
I'm a
humble,
writer.
man. What's the deal? Like,
I write. I'm a writer.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Some people even pay me to write.
Wow.
Is the thing. So that's crazy.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
But today I wrote about raiding. I wrote about Siege of Orgrimmar, and I wrote about LFR, Flex, Normal, and Heroic raiding. I started with the LFR, right? And the different reasons people go into LFR for ease, for the queue, for the gear, and the different reasons why people are going to flex. And that's what I kind of concentrated on, because why would people flex? Because I've been flexing, and I know why I've been flexing.
Well, the gear's better for one thing.
Okay, well, the gear's good. That's absolute for sure. But I've been able to raid with people, and I've said this before, raid with people I've never raided before with. So, and with different levels of difficulty, and with the high level people and low level people. I got some heroic people in there and some LFR people in there, and we're all just we have the same goal, and I don't know, it's been pretty positive.
Well, anything
for me.
that gets you playing with more people is a good thing, and that's kind of what Blizzard wants, so it's for a guild as big as ours too. It's awesome. I just thought of this too real quick. Like, remember I was telling you about the runestone thing? I kind of had a fail moment this week. Like, okay, so I have almost everybody you talk to has this thing in the back of their head, like, oh, Blizzard hates me. You know what I mean? When it comes to like drops and stuff, and it's like, I've been farming this thing forever and it never drops and blah blah blah. So we got this complex. So I'm in LFR, right? And I'm trying to get the runestones, and I'll kill like 1,000,000 bosses in LFR, and I'll get like one runestone drop. Like, I think I'm the unluckiest person. And everyone listening to this is like, no, I am. But so I'm like, all right, well, darn it, I'm gonna get it off Lei Shin. I mean, at least I know I'm getting my guaranteed stone. I'm at 10 stones, right?
Oh, I saw you tweet this.
So I get to Lei Shin, right? I'm like, all right, you little punk, I'm about to get my stone, right? So I kill him, okay, and no stone drops. I'm like, no, you gotta be kidding me, right? Like, at that point, I'm like, I'm freaking out. I'm like, you give me my stone, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, my only guaranteed drop is coming from this guy, and it doesn't drop. So I'm freaking out, man. I'm opening up a ticket. I'm just going crazy, right?
You got it, though.
Well, check this out. So the next morning, I post on Twitter, that I was like, I'm the unluckiest guy in the world. I don't get the drops.
Even
the Lei Shin doesn't give me my stupid stone. So I opened the ticket up, right? So like a couple hours later, Catherine from WoW in the Details kind of posts on there. She's like, hey, maybe you might have killed Lei Shin already this week on a different thing. And in the back of my head, I'm like, we're so done with Lei Shin. But what I had forgotten is that our team on normal went and killed Lei Shin on the Wednesday before, and that never crossed my mind, not even once. So I was kind of like, okay, face palm after that. I'm like, I knew that you couldn't kill the guy twice and get the stone, but I was like so raging. But I left the ticket open, hoping they'd give me an extra one. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's dirty or not.
Yeah.
So I left the ticket
Yeah,
open,
that's dirty. That's cheating.
knowing I shouldn't get one. And but I did the right thing. I kept going, and I went and ended up getting another stone. So I got all 12, and then the ticket responded like the next day, and they're like, "Hey, we see that you completed the 12, so congratulations, and sorry about the inconvenience." Blah 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 blah. So, but I tried to kind of be a little sneaky. I was kind of hoping I'd wake up and have a cape in my bag. That might that might have been a little too much.
Because that's how that works.
Yeah, because that's how they do it. No, but that was kind of funny, and thanks to Catherine. And I knew that, but it's one of those things when you're just raging, you're not thinking straight.
Oh wow, I wouldn't have thought about that. Of course, that's why.
Yeah, man, that's why. But I was like, you got to be kidding me! I'm not even gonna get my guaranteed stone. Like, really, Blizzard? Really?
He killed Lei Shen twice.
I've killed that guy so many times. Oh man. So anyway, that's my little fail story.
Check it out. I'm going to New York City tomorrow.
So what's the deal, man? What's going down in New York? I mean, everything, but what's the deal?
Well, okay, my friend is coming in from out of country, and he's got married, and he's having his honeymoon. And he's starting off in America, and he's going down to the Caribbean, I think.
Okay.
But he's going to spend the weekend in New York. Okay. So he told me about this a few months ago, and I've been plugging away trying to save up money so I can go to New York City to hang out with my friend Kane and his new wife Rowena.
That's awesome. How long are you going for?
Just the weekend, really.
Okay.
So tomorrow's Friday, and my mother's coming by. She's going to pick me up at 5:00 in the morning.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I owe her. I've been traveling a lot these past, I don't know, 10 years
so
or
you're
so.
Like a writer. You're like an international traveling superstar.
Well, not at the moment.
I mean, geez. I mean, we're just lucky to get to talk to you every now and then. That's good.
No, that is not the situation. But the thing is, I've been traveling. Yes, I've been traveling a lot, but for different reasons. Usually for jobs or whatever. And my mother has always been there to pick me up at the airport. Mm-hmm. And now that I actually live here near my family, I realize how much of a pain in the ass it is to pick someone up at the airport.
Oh, it's the worst. I mean, when someone says, "Hey, can you pick me up?" You're like, "Oh yeah, sure, do no problem." And hang up the phone. You're like, "Oh really? Come on, man." You know what I mean? But you do it.
Wow.
You do it. I had a guy pick me up one time 2 hours away. I was flying into Chicago, and I was going to school in Michigan. And I got stranded. I called up my boy back at school. It's about 2 hours from Chicago to where I went to school. And I was like, "Dude, I'm stuck here at O'Hare. Can you come pick me up?" Like, he was like, "Oh yeah, dude, no problem, man. I'll come get you." I hope on the other side of the line he was freaking out, because I know I would have been. I would have been like, yeah, sure, I'll pick you up. You gotta be kidding me. You know what I mean? It was like super late. It's like a 2-hour drive. But he came and got me, man. So yeah, I got some good friends, I guess. But yeah, anyway, wow. So you're feeling it. You're feeling it.
So I'm gonna be in New York at lunchtime, and then I have another unemployed friend of mine that's gonna pick me up for lunch, and we're gonna have some Korean food at his apartment, right? And then I'm gonna meet my friend Kane from Ireland, Northern Ireland, and he's, we're gonna have a party Friday, pre-party, and then the huge party with all our friends gonna be Saturday night, because I inexplicably have a lot of friends in New York City.
Man, you got it going on, Sal.
That's weird. I have a lot of friends that just moved from different places to there, so we're gonna have dinner and drinks and club, and it's gonna be all about Brooklyn on Saturday night. So I'm not gonna be around to do any of this rating or LFR or any of it. So I'm not gonna cap Valor.
You're gonna be in New York, man. Really? Come on, New York or rating? New York. I mean, come on now. I mean, I love rating like everyone else, but New York's hot. So
I'm excited about that. That's gonna be cool.
Good deal.
But yeah, so are you pumped about a little con that's coming up in about a month?
I'm mad pumped. I'm crazy pumped.
It's gonna be so much fun.
I started setting up my itinerary. We're gonna be in LA for a couple hours on the Thursday, chilling, and then from there we're heading up to Anaheim. But I'm pumped, man. It's only a couple weeks away, and I'm ready to rock, man. I'm ready to go.
I decided to fly into John Wayne Airport. I know that you're flying into LAX.
LAX, yeah. We're gonna
so you can hang out in LA a little bit.
Yeah, but we're gonna get there around noon, and I figure we'll probably chill in LA till like 4:30 or so, and then catch the train. It's like a 45-minute train ride up to Anaheim.
But you got to pick up your tickets.
Yeah, but it's from 5 to like 11.
Okay. But but there's a big party that night, so you pick up your tickets. Okay. And then you go to like the WoW Insider party.
What time is that party?
It's not late. I don't know.
So it's like at 8 or something like that?
I wasn't prepared for this. No. It's earlier than that. It's like 6 or 7. So you're going to stand in line for the tickets. And anyway, if you're going to go to BlizzCon, you have to figure out all the times that things happen and give yourself an hour to do each one. We're going to be in line forever to get those tickets.
Yeah.
and then you go to the party, and yeah, just keep that in mind.
No, good call. I'm gonna book all that stuff, like as far as the trains and stuff soon. So you're right. I mean,
You have to book the train.
well, I'm gonna buy my tickets in
Subway,
advance.
isn't it?
No, it's a train. It's Amtrak
Oh,
from Union Station to Anaheim.
okay. Well,
But you know what I was thinking though?
huh.
There's a show like a BlizzCon countdown, and they got people coming on there talking about like people like veterans of BlizzCon. That'd be kind of cool to have somebody come on before the show and just kind of who's been there, and done it a few times.
Oh my
and kinda break
gosh,
that
that's a
stuff down.
great idea.
Yeah.
Actually, I've seen a few things like on Twitter and different websites saying, here's advice about
Yeah.
what to do, like what to stand in line in first. Like go like the BlizzCon shop. Apparently, the shop sells out of things, so you want to go there at a certain time. And
Yeah.
there's like all these different things. Like if you want to go to the lore panel or to play StarCraft or whatever, like a lot of people have advice. So, guys, if anyone is listening to this and you are a veteran of BlizzCon, you have advice, we'd love to hear from you.
That sounds good. We could even do it. We can do it in roundtable format, or we can do it on the this format. Whatever, we'll figure it out. But if you are a BlizzCon vet, get back at us and let's talk and see if we can kind of inform the people.
But before that happens, do you know that we have a raid team spotlight planned today?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Nalda from FITE CLUB. And they're 10-man team. Okay, well, why don't we just go ahead and go into that?
All right, we'll see you guys on the other side.
All right.
All right.
Hello, and today we're talking to the 10-man team and Convert to Raid FITE CLUB. Hello, Nalda. Thank you for coming.
How you doing?
We're doing good, man.
We're great. Yeah. How you doing today?
Very good. Very good.
It's good to see him, man. This guy, man, when he came on the screen, he had a big smile on his face, man. This guy was just fired up, ready to go, man. So I like the energy, man. I'm feeling it.
He had as much energy as the Warcraft family did when they came on. Remember?
That was crazy
hey!
energy, man. Like my computer almost kind of started melting from the energy they had. That's cool. But Nalda, man, so what's up, man? How you doing, dude?
I'm doing really well. This is just such a great community, the CTR community. It's so unique, and it's new in my experience of Warcraft, and it's just wonderful to be here with you two and to chat some and to talk about this great game.
Fantastic, man. How long have you been playing the game, man? How long have you been wowing?
Let's see. I started with patch 1.4.
Oh,
okay. Okay.
That was
at the end
06, I believe. Yeah, right near the end of vanilla.
So you're hardcore, man.
I've been going for a while.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've taken some breaks, taken some time off, and come back. The most recent thing bringing me back was actually the CTR community, because I'd felt like I'd run a 25-man raid and had a lot of success, done a lot of stuff, and you keep coming up against the same kind of problems, which is okay. I mean, challenges and problems are okay, but you want new ones from time to time. And so I'd taken a break, but then I heard about this community with so many thousands of players and so many raid teams, and it seemed to me that it changed the equation for a raid leader, and it presented the opportunity for me to do the kind of thing that I had always originally wanted to do, which was just lead a raid and not run a guild. Because we all know, running the guild is the kind of heinous, laborious kind of thing that,
Well, that's something I hadn't even thought of before. Like,
I haven't thought about that
the
either.
Guild leader ends up being the raid leader. When you have a smaller guild, you know what I mean? Like a lot of times,
right?
So that's kind of that's a good thought. I hadn't even thought of that before. That's pretty cool.
I've just got my mind. Yeah, to lead a raid, but not lead a guild.
Yeah.
Gosh, and you can do that within your raid teams too, because we have all these little raid teams. They're kind of like mini guilds within the big guild.
Right. Yeah.
And like the leader of my raid team is not the raid leader. Do you know what I mean? So we have
which team is that again?
Salad Senate.
Salad Senate, right?
Copperbolt is our queen, but then we have someone whose job it is to raid lead. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's something like that too. Anyway, totally off topic. I just never thought about it that way, Nalda.
This guy's going deep, man. Nalda's about to take us and the converted podcast listeners to a deeper level of understanding. I'm ready for the trip, man. Take me there, dude. So FITE CLUB, man. It's your 10-man team, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what's up with FITE CLUB, man? What are you guys working on right now?
Let's see. Tonight we really want to take General Nazgrim down.
Okay.
We got him to 4% on Sunday.
You guys are so far.
You guys are serious.
And then And then, one of those healing totems come out, and he goes from 4% to 34% like that.
Yeah.
And so you got to watch the totems. A little tip for that fight.
General Nazgûl
totems
is so
heal.
far that I have no idea how far that is. I mean, I'm like, like, dude, that's deep. Like, what number boss is that? I mean, I haven't gotten that far on my prep.
It's number 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's number
No,
7.
I think it might be number 8.
Wow. Dude, that's
Oh
awesome.
no, it's number 8. It's the last boss in Wing 2 if you're flexing.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes.
But
So how many
Belschnickel wouldn't know that because he usually quits before we get there.
Well, no, it's you. Well, hold on a second. You guys start doing your LFRs at about 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta sleep. I gotta handle my business in the daytime. But eventually, man, we'll get over there. Don't try to call me out.
I know that Bell can stay up late. I mean, if there's, I remember you invited me in a pug you were doing when you were trying to take out Lei Shin.
Oh Lord!
Really late. Oh my gosh, it went so late, and you were just hanging in there. You had to get up in like 4 or 5 hours or something. Like one more. I'm gonna hate it tomorrow, but I'm going one more.
Dude, was that the 0% White Club? Or was that the night before? Because there was 2 nights that I stayed up pretty late. There was one night, excuse me, with like some salad scented peeps. And then there was one night that we had the 0% white. You know what I mean? And we were so close.
Yes, that was the night.
Oh,
the 0%
dude, you're
white.
part of the club, bro.
I remember that.
Well, it was one of those things, man. I had to have it, man. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, yeah, we got it like in 2 more polls. And I'm going to just be salty, bitter. So, yeah, man. But that's cool. You were there, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, there were like there was a raid going every night that weekend, if I recall. People were really trying to get this, really trying to get the ahead of the curve achievement, and that spirit. I mean, you can't say no to that. No, man, got to support that. You get caught up in it.
Yeah, man, and I'll stay up late, man. But I did pay for it the next day. There's no question about it. I did pay for that. So what's up, man? So what kind of, you sound like you got everything under control. What kind of leader are you, man? Are you like one of those guys that comes in there and is like, okay, guys, this is the strat. This is what we're gonna do. Or is your team kind of dynamic in that sense where everyone's kind of like, well, hey, hold on a second, I think this might work pretty good, or what's the structure of your raid night of your organization?
Oh, I squash all of that. We do not raid lead by committee.
This is a dictatorship, man. This is not a democracy.
No, I mean, I'm not a jerk about it, but I have been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
I started raid leading probably about 2008, and had a lot of success, and really I kind of learned as I think I had mentioned to you before, my whole the methodology for raid leading from Ciderhelm. And I have to say that I don't know. Do you two know? Are you familiar with his stuff? Who he is?
I'm not. No.
He started the Tank Spot site.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Back in 2006 when I started, I wanted to be a tank because the thing that appealed to me most about MMOs was the party setting and working together. And I quickly found out that is only going to be as good as the tank is. Generally speaking. And so I wanted to be that guy who was able to take care of things and provide this foundation for everyone to have fun on. So I had to learn how to do this. And so I went on to the forums and I looked up in the Warrior forums, and there's this big post called Fortifications by this guy named Ciderhelm. And there was all kinds of information there, and that began my education, I think, in how to run a raid, how to manage a raid. And then he went on and he started making podcasts, and I listened to all of those, learned a lot from him. And then he started the Tank Spot site and started the video guides and what have you.
Wow, okay, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what you're saying is you come out with the plan, and that's the plan. Like this is what we're doing. Like you sound like you got like the Type A personality. This is kind of what we're gonna do. And you guys can follow along, and we'll get it done. I mean, am I reading that right, or
Yes, generally. Okay. It's not that I don't want to hear what other people have to say, but there is a time and a place for that, right? To run an effective raid, it just everyone gets in line, because the minutes on the clock are your most valuable asset, and we can't spend them discussing which strategy to use.
Right.
You discuss that offline, and what I've done is I've set up a forum through proboards.com, free forum, easy to do, for our raid team, and everybody signs up there, and we discuss the World of Logs records, we discuss strategies, link videos, discuss the strats, and so that's when the discussion about what you're going to do takes place. And then once the raid clock starts, you've got a limited amount of time to get things done, so then you're just executing.
Awesome. Now, how many nights a week are you guys raiding? Like, you guys 3 nights, or?
Yeah, 3 nights.
Okay, so you guys are into it. putting hours in. That's good.
Yeah. And how about you? How about you, Bill? I'm not familiar with which team are you running with?
I raid with For the Win. I lead that team. We raid one night a week. It's kind of a team. Like 3 of the guys that are on the team, we all came from a different guild, and we all went to college together. So we're all married. We got kids and stuff like that. So it's the reason we set up that team on the other server was more of a time issue. We wanted to have a one night a week raid team that we can go kill some bosses, do our thing, but really didn't have the time to commit to like a 2 or 3 night a week deal. So the 3 of us came over to convert to raid, and we kind of just wanted to bring that same thing with us. You know what I mean? Where we had one night a week where we sit down and we get serious. You know what I mean? We're not joking. We're not messing around. We want to kill some bosses, but we just don't have the ability to commit 3 nights to it. So it's just Wednesday nights. And we got 10 people, man. We get in there and take care of business. You know what I mean? So it's fun. We have a good time with it.
It's cool. Very adult.
We're never going to be, guild first, or we're never going to be, killing stuff. We're not going to be, almost done with stuff when everyone else is starting out. But we'll eventually get through all the content, in our time, and we'll have fun doing it. So it's a fun group. Fun group.
Yeah. Sal, how many nights does Salad Senate run?
Actually, we bumped it up to 2 nights. We're doing Wednesdays and Thursdays, and we don't do that casual 10-man crap.
Yeah, you're a 25-man group. I remember that was the first raid group that I participated in when I came to CTR, to Aerie Peak.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
Everybody
so many people say that.
Was there that night.
Everyone has pugged in. Okay, when you run a 25-man team, you take in a lot of pugs. I'll tell you that right now.
Yes.
And we really value our pugs, and we don't have any kind of loot rules against the pugs. The pugs have the same kind of chance at gear as the rest of us do, so
that's only fair.
Oh yeah, without the pugs you can't do it, right?
Right.
So they're just as they're maybe even more important, on some nights, because without the pugs you're not going in. So we get a lot of people that say, within the first few weeks, so we were raiding really quick. We have a lot of people that say that within the first few weeks they came in with the Salad Senate. So that's cool. Hi. Of course I remember that you were there.
Yeah, right. The Salad Senate, is that still the only 20? Well, no, there's a couple, right?
No.
There's like 2 now, 2 or 3, 25 man raiding teams.
There's a couple more that I know, but I believe one of them is a flex team.
Okay.
And the other one, I don't know what the Rubber Chickens are doing, but
okay.
They seem to flex and go back and forth.
Yeah, sure, a little bit.
But as far as I know, we are the premier normal mode 25-man raid team. And why are we talking about my raid team when we have the raid leader of FITE CLUB here?
Sorry, I'm just inquisitive. I just wanted to know who I'm talking to and everything.
And what? When you get me talking about a raid team, I just go on and on. But so you have a 10-man team.
Yes. And I thought about doing a 25 because there's this dynamic with 25 that's really cool. I like the size of it, and frankly, it can actually be conducive to a more organized raid. Believe it or not, because with 25 people in there, you have to have a very firm hand, and when you have a very firm hand, then you can guide them quickly. And with 10, it lends itself more to a social atmosphere where there's just a few friends getting together, and so the giggles start, and people, everybody's piping in, lots of jokes start. We have a lot of jokesters on my team, and so. It can get unorganized and veer off on tangents, and so you have to gently bring them back. But with the 25, you can kind of snap the whip a bit more, and people will tend to chime in less.
There's not much whip snapping going on my team.
Oh, I can snap a whip.
What?
Yeah.
So now you guys, for gearing up for this stuff, were you guys doing heroics in the last tier and just kind of went straight in? Do you guys use flex at all to kind of gear up a little bit, or did you guys go straight normal? Were you guys geared enough to just kind of progress through, or did you guys do some flexing?
Well, that's a good question. We wanted to go through. I'm very aggressive with the progression. I want to move quickly and move through content as fast as possible. And there are reasons for that. It's not just ego based.
Gear.
It's gear. Sure, there's gear. It all boils down to the health of the team. A very effective team is a very healthy team, because when it's effective, everyone's having a good time. When everyone's having a good time, you get repeat attendance. And when you get repeat attendance, you just have a more effective team, which snowballs and comes back around.
Circle, sure.
Yeah. And I forgot my point. What was my point?
We were talking about like just gearing up and flexing.
Yeah. Oh, right. So, So how do we want to approach this? Well, I wanted to go straight in, and I'm a fan of extending and just going through. But we with this one, we came in at about an average gear score of mid 520s with everybody, because we did not have a whole lot of time in Throne of Thunder to farm up a bunch of gear. We got started really late. We got started in June. And so we were a bit under-geared for the content. It was tuned for a bit higher gear level, and we found that by the third boss, we hit the enrage timer, executing everything. Yeah, we executed everything. The whole plan went off. Everybody was doing everything they were supposed to do, and we were only at 20%. We had the boss down to 20% health when we hit the enrage timer. So we knew we had to make some major adjustments, and we did that. We made major adjustments, and we sent
what
in.
What adjustments are you talking about?
Well, we started sending in. You've got the 2 portals that pop up in 10-man, and so we sent in a DPS and a tank, because we figured we wanted to have the tank, the corruption bar drop, so you can soak those void zones that pop up. And then the next one, we sent in the next tank and another DPS. And after that,
DPS, right?
Yes, we were sending in the top DPS, and then we sent in like a healer and another DPS. And so none of that worked out. The only way that we could do it was to send in all DPS all the time, and just to crank up the DPS. And so. The only way,
you did 1 through 5. Like you guys 3 healed it.
Yes,
so you went 1 through 5 DPS.
First portal was 2 DPS. Second portal was 2 DPS. Third portal was 1 DPS, and
those ads were all over the place.
Well, and each one leaves a void zone, and you have to have somebody soak those, right? So who's going to soak them? So we came up with 5. We could send in 5 DPS. Because we had 5 soakers. The 2 tanks could each soak 1 before they hit 100% corruption, and then 3 healers could each soak 1. So that's the plan that we used. And by the time the 5th person was through, then we sent in a tank.
Wow, that's an interesting strat. I hadn't even heard that one before. I mean, I've heard of sending a couple DPS early,
but
I hadn't heard
really
all 5.
Hard on the healers.
That's aggressive.
Yeah, and that was the only. And then we finally got him down. When we adjusted to that strat, and we did it within like 1 second of the enrage time.
So even that way,
so we knew that we're like on the ragged edge of not enough gear to make this happen. So that's when we decided, well, okay, we're going to have to go back and reset and do some farming, and we can't just push forward and
then you farmed
and
flex
extend.
At that point, or did you guys just do the first?
We did do some flex, yes. We added a flex run on Saturday night.
One of the nights, yeah.
Right, so that brought us up to 4 nights. We had 3 nights progression and
Lord
night
God.
flex.
Wow. Yo,
Man, if I was rating about rating 4 nights a week, there are people I would actually strangle.
I'd be divorced.
There are people.
I mean, I'd be, I'd be.
Well, now not all of us made it on the flex night, because there are some. It's generally a mature group, people in their 30s, and just about everybody is married, and then we've got the odd folks like me. I'm single, and we've got 1 kid who's an 18-year-old just starting college, and
I'm
he's
sure
awesome.
that person appreciates being called a kid.
Oh no, we bug him all the time. He's so great. That's Turbius. He's so awesome.
Who are you talking about? Who's this kid?
He's our paladin healer, and we joke about him all the time because he's got a great attitude. He can take it. He can also dish it out. He's a funny guy, and he's totally talented. So we're always joking that we need you to put us in your backpack and carry us through this boss, Turbius.
In your backpack, in your Dora the Explorer backpack.
Okay, while we're at it, why don't you tell us who's on your team? Did you make a list?
I've got the list right here.
List, man.
Break it down.
Yeah,
so there's Turbius, the Holy Pally, with the awesome heals and the great ability. We've also got Barrister, who is my co-tank, and he's a very cool, very smart guy. He's like a doctor and a lawyer.
Busy guy.
No.
Turpius is like a barrister. His name's Barrister, right?
Barrister is a lawyer.
And, yeah, and it's a bear, so it kind of makes sense.
Oh.
You see what he did there?
Yeah.
That's funny.
He's a total overachiever and a great player. Just the kind of person that I like to have as a co-tank. The kind of person that I can say, okay, you take control of the tanking stuff, and you tell me when to taunt. Because I don't want to be tank lead. I would rather, because as a raid lead, I want to watch everybody else's things. I want to watch all the DBM timers. I want to call everything out. I want to be able to spin my camera around, look at everybody's spacing, and I really do best when there's a very good tank I can rely on to tell me when we need to switch.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So Barrister fills that role perfectly. Then for DPS, we've got Alkentasham, the rogue, who's fantastic and has a great accent. I don't know exactly where he's from. French Canadian? But he's a cool guy.
He's Canadian. He talks. Never mind. Go ahead.
No,
I was going to say something racist. I don't know. I'm just going to stop.
Yeah.
It's not a boot.
Yeah.
That. And then we've got Born Again, who is a warrior, DPS warrior, and a lead threat puller. And
Born Again is not a paladin.
No.
That seems like a paladin name to me, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know, right? But he spells it Born like Jason Bourne.
Born
Again. So it's almost like, I don't know, the fourth Bourne movie or something.
I haven't seen a DPS warrior in forever. I didn't even know they were still in the game.
I've got at least two good DPS on my team. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They're good, man. They're hot.
No,
especially
when
they get that
anymore.
Man,
they're
when they get that epic cloak.
Yeah.
Jeez, look out.
Yeah.
So then we've also got, let's see, for ranged DPS, we've got Rinny, the mage. She's awesome. And she has this great infectious giggle that's like, it gets started like, I don't know, what's that priest spell? Cascade, the one that bounces around. And it hits everybody. And pretty soon, we're wiping because we're not paying attention to the boss mechanics. And we've got Sniper Wolf. Sniper Wolf is great, good hunter. He was afraid that the 5.4 changes would nerf his DPS, but he's doing just fine.
All the hunters were Captain QQ.
Hunters are not still.
Down. Man, my guy Slick Rock.
Blizzard hates
Why? He's at the top of the list. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Let's see, who else do we have for ranged? We've got the new guy, Yasmin, who's actually been with us for quite a while, but we still call him the new guy because he's the most recent addition to the team. He's a Shadow Priest, and he's great. Yeah. And then we've got for heals, we've got Balthazar, a tree, who's awesome, great heals. And we've got Nezral, shaman, who's great heals, and Turpius, the aforementioned college freshman.
Backpack carrying. All right.
Yes, backpack carrying.
That's awesome, man. Sounds like you guys have a great team, man. A lot of fun and stuff. That's good stuff.
We do. We have a very good time, and it's chilling me out because I told you my raid leading style and everything, and my background was running a 25-man raid through heroic content for 3.5 years, and so I do. You tend to develop a style that can be strict, but not a jerk, right? I'm not a hardcore jerk.
Right. There's a difference between wanting to get stuff done and being very organized and being very direct and being.
You see, that's not what your raid team told me, Nalda.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, what'd you got, Sal?
Nothing. I didn't talk to him at all. I'm making that up.
You do. No, really. You cause more harm than good when you're too much of a jerk with people.
Well, I mean, and if you're a jerk, no one's having fun. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Killing bosses, having fun.
Right. But these guys, we have so much fun that I've kind of chilled out. And you let some stuff go, and everybody's having a good time, and maybe it's okay that we didn't get 10 bosses so far.
Oh, I think you're doing well. I think you're doing great.
Yeah.
You got some good progression going on. Working on Nazgrim, awesome. I heard you got a nerf in LFR. Can't wait to try that out.
That would be good. So I can't imagine.
Do you got any shout outs, man? You got any shout outs for some peeps out there? Anybody? Or
Well, we've had a few people that have helped us out a lot in this. When it comes to subs, let's see. Warcleave is a really dependable warlock. I'd like to say thank you to him. And Iron Flint helped us out. Shadow Priest, great player. Who else? I know I'm going to miss somebody. JC Sway is a great hunter.
I see him on Twitter.
Yeah.
I see that name on Twitter. Yeah.
And those are the 3 that come to mind, the most recent ones.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you on Twitter?
Also, no, I'm not. Twitter's not my thing.
Okay.
But
what
also,
are you doing,
I also
man?
wanted to say thanks to like all the CTR officers and just the whole staff that run this whole community and allow
awesome.
guys like me a chance to just lead a raid and not have to mess with the administration. So thank you.
Yeah.
That definitely helps. Yeah, and I never thought about it that way. So I'm really glad you helped me get that perspective.
I could talk to you for another hour, man. It's been
Totally,
good
but
having
we
you
are
on the show, man.
we're absolutely out of time.
We'll have to get you on a
And-
roundtable one of these days, man. Pick up a roundtable one of these days and get on there and we'll talk about something. It'd be good.
Okay.
It'd be
Absolutely.
Good. Well, listen, man, we got to run, but it's been great. Good luck to you guys. You guys are having fun.
Thank you.
Fight Club, man. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you later, man. We'll see you in game.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace. All right, guys. Man, that was a great interview, man. Nalda, that was a lot of fun. I could have talked to that guy for a while. That was really, really cool. He's a nice guy.
Seriously, that was some great energy. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I like it.
That was cool.
So what's going on, Sal? We got some announcements coming up. We got some big BlizzCon info coming at us. We're getting close. Lay it on me.
Okay, we've got some BlizzCon news. Okay, everyone knows the Convert to Raid community meetup will be at the Hilton Hotel in Anaheim from 8 p.m. to midnight on Friday, November 8th. So during BlizzCon, November 8th is the Friday. Okay, so all of Convert to Raid, it's not just a guild meetup, it's the community. So anyone who's a fan of Convert to Raid should feel free to head over to the Hilton, right? Okay, but next week, we're going to have tons of really specific information from a very special guest who's telling us all about the party. We're going to have Guildmaster Zug
Yes.
on this show, on the Converted podcast, ready to talk to you about BlizzCon. I'm excited. I mean, we get to talk to Zug all the time and Mumble, right? But
Yeah.
getting him on the show, that's fun.
It's gonna be good.
That's fun. Okay, well, now it's time for the Converted shoutouts. We hit Twitter, get the shoutouts. People sending love to CTR people via Twitter. Hollowshine says, shout out to Iron Deficiency, The Casuals, and Shipwrecked. Excellence is obviously contagious.
And we got one from Jersh CTR. He says, shout out to Slowdown Raiders. They're a really good team who needs a DPS and a tank. So
Slowdown Raiders need... Oh, okay, Look at that. Okay, catastrophic, spelled crazy. Okay, says shout out to Iron Deficiency for going 13 of 14 last week.
That's pretty awesome. That's
He
crazy.
says, we're coming for you, Garage.
That is some serious progression, man.
Yeah.
And we got one from Dirk Diggs. Shout out to Dirk Diggs.
Dirk
He's the
Diggs.
greatest drunk paladin in game. Did he just shout himself out?
Are you allowed to shout yourself out?
I don't know. I mean, we just did, so I guess so.
Goodness.
So he gave himself a shout out. That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Okay, I want to shout out to my team for replacing me while I go to NYC.
And Sal, we all know you're irreplaceable. I don't know how they're going to manage.
Well, they're
What are they
texting
gonna
me
do?
right now, I'll tell you what. Okay.
And I want to give a shout out to Beer Nerd. He helped us out last night. We needed a fill-in DPS for normal Siege of Orgrimmar, and he came out and brought the deep, Sal. This guy was killing it. So that was fun. We got Narushan down.
Oh.
Narushan. So we got him down.
Roosh.
That was fun, man. So, and also for Rex for setting up this week's roundtable. And we had a good discussion of this week's roundtable, and he kind of was the guy behind orchestrating some of that stuff. So that was good. That was good. So big shout out to him and for his help there.
Yeah, the Rex totally arranged everything, got the people, figured out the talking points. He said, hey, can I do this? And I'm like, yeah.
Anybody who has any roundtable ideas, we're open to them, man. It's all about you guys. So bring them. Let's do it, man. Let's talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys. Next, you're gonna hear the converted roundtable. I'm gonna try to see if I can get it in video format pretty soon. If not this time, maybe the next time. But it's gonna be on a YouTube channel or in the show. So I'll make sure you guys know where that's gonna be at. So if you guys have any ideas, you want to be on it, just email us. It's easy to do. convertedpodcast@gmail.com, and say I want to be on your next roundtable, whatever, and we'll make sure that happens. So.
And we have gotten a few emails, and hopefully we've responded to them. Okay. But we're going to get you on, for sure.
And if we haven't gotten back to you, we will get back to you soon. So every email gets read. It's just a matter of just getting back to you guys. So
yeah.
If you're looking for more information about the show, you can find us at convertedpodcast.com. It's our website. It's got a bunch of shows archived there. It's got all the audio archived there. It's got our RSS feed, everything else you might need from that. Also on Twitter, follow us on Twitter at converted_CTR. You can follow me at Belschnickel CTR. And Sal, where can they find you?
You can find me at summer_Sal. Be sure to join us next week when we hit up the raid team, Team Chaos.
That'll be good. Looking forward to it. So, guys, we'll see you in 2 weeks. We got 3 more shows before BlizzCon, and then we're going to have a live show from BlizzCon. Not live for you guys, but in front of a live studio audience at the party.
I can't wait.
Yes, man. So it's going to be a blast. I can't wait for that. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and hope you guys enjoy the show, and stay tuned for the roundtable.
Night.
All right, guys. Peace.
Hello and welcome to the Converted Roundtable. This week we've got some very, very special guests. From Boats and Hosen, we have Navux.
Hey, guys.
Hi. We've got the very famous Jaded Heels from the Area of Effect podcast, and we wipe from front to back.
Hi, I'm not Deadlock.
Okay. Next, we've got Rex from For the Win. Hey, Rex.
Hey.
All right, okay. And then a friend of the show, Dunlock from Press Y podcast and Area of Effect. And this time, without the mask.
I am without the
Real
mask.
Dunlock.
I am Dunlock. How you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Dunlock.
All right, I'm excited.
And then, of course, we've got Belschnickel, and my name is Sal. And today we've got the Converted Roundtable. Rex, I'd like you to start us off and tell everyone what we're talking about tonight.
Sure. Everybody knows CTR is a huge community, but nobody really knows exactly how to find a team, how to navigate our community, what's really going on. So we just want to give everybody a hand in sort of figuring out how to navigate our community, what kind of tools you have available, just sort of the ins and outs, the things you need to know, especially if you're, getting ready to look at making the drop and spending the money for a transfer.
Sounds good, man.
Okay, a lot of people when they first join CTR, it's a little bit overwhelming, and I've had people ask me, "So, what team am I going to be on?" Well, there's a bit more to it than that, right?
There's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot of things to consider when you're looking at coming to CTR and getting onto a team, because those kind of things aren't guaranteed. In a lot of ways, it's like a job interview. There's a lot of things you got to kind of have in place to sort of find yourself the right spot, the niche that you can fit into.
So Rex, I'm coming into the guild. I'm coming by myself. I don't have any friends here. I've listened to the show, and I want to be in the guild. What's the first thing you recommend someone do? They come into the guild, they want to find a raid team. I know there's a forum and stuff like that, but can you kind of break that down a little bit as far as what steps you would take, knowing what you know as a new raider in the guild?
Well, I'll be honest. The first thing you want to consider is am I prepared? Do I look ready for what I'm applying for? Everybody knows about the forums, but from a raid leader perspective, I run a flex team on Mondays and whatnot. There are certain things I look for, and a lot of us here are raid leaders, and we can all kind of weigh in on what we look for. But I know myself, especially when I'm looking at adding someone to a team, I know I'm checking to see if they're ready to go. It's kind of like a job interview. You wouldn't show up for a job interview wearing, a t-shirt, ripped pants, and flip-flops.
Me.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But what I wanted to add was when you're looking to come over to join Convert to Raid, you really need to go out and look at the website. They just redesigned it. It looks great. I know when I first came over, I was really confused, believe it or not, and I didn't know. I thought Convert to Raid, that was it. But there's 7 or 8 guilds for Convert to Raid, and it would be best if you go out there and look at all the raid teams and schedules and things like that, see if something fits for you before you make the jump.
I also recommend going into Mumble, because that's how I met a lot of you guys, like Navix,
Right.
Deadlock, just hanging out in Mumble, and that's how I communicate with the other raid leaders to get ideas too.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. The thing about Mumble, though, go ahead, Rex.
I was going to say, I don't know about everybody else, but the one thing I noticed when I came over, I came from a small guild of 14 people, and I don't know what everyone else's backstory is, but I know for myself, it was super intimidating when I came over.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's so many people, and it's hard to kind of get a handle on how you can use the tools that are available at your disposal to find a good spot where you can fit in.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. What tools are available? What do we have that we can use?
I can talk on that.
Go ahead.
If you want. There's when you first join the guild, and whether it is you're going to server transfer your 90 fully raid geared tune, or if you're going to make an alt and jump in at level 15, there's an identity program. It's called Identity 2 that you can mark all your characters so people know who it is when you're logging in and playing. That's one of the things that I would suggest adding right off the bat, so people know who you are at all times. Like I like people to know that the alts that I'm on, that's me. You know.
Right.
That's just one of them. I was trying to think of the other required one that we have to have. The
Greenwall.
Greenwall. That's
Okay,
it.
Jaden, why don't you tell us about Greenwall?
Green. Yes, Greenwall is awesome.
Well, what does it do?
It connects all of the guilds together so that we can talk to everybody. Because if you don't have it, then you can just see the chat in your one guild that you're in, and not all the. What do we have? 7 guilds now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're not doing that, you defeat the purpose of having a mega guild.
Right.
You're pretty much back in your regular sized guild.
Yeah, I think sometimes too that, and we don't mention it enough, at least sort of outside of the people who are pretty active on there, but we kind of have a second guild chat, really.
Twitter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Twitter's awesome. If you're not using Twitter, we say it all the time. You need to get on that.
I didn't have a Twitter account before joining CTR.
Me either.
And it just opened up a world of friends for me and things like that within the guild.
You mean a time suck?
Exactly.
That too.
It's a great way to get to know people in the guild and just kind of get yourself out there. Getting recognized amongst 7,000 people is hard to do. It's difficult to find a spot on a team when you're an unknown quantity.
The thing about it is, I don't mean to interrupt you, man, but like we were talking about earlier, like all of us that are here, we're all pretty social people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're outgoing. We're like, hey, what's going on, Mumble? Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, this is totally an act. I'm not social at all.
But you know what I'm saying, though. Like, you're not afraid to go into something and just say, hey, this is me. What's up? Let's do something.
Right.
But for like the person that comes in the guild, that's like, they just want to play. They just want to raid.
Right.
You know, they're not the kind of people that go into Mumble and say, hey, let's party, 5 it up, let's have a good time. They're more like, hey, I just want to have some fun and meet some people. Because I mean, I've heard from some people that, and this I could be totally off, but I have a friend that did come over from a different server, and she kind of found the guild to be very cliquey. And that's kind of the nature of it when you have a bunch of raid teams and those are the people that you kind of know. But what do you say to that person that's not as outgoing, and what things could they try to do that might get them in? You know what I'm saying? And just let them play and do their thing. Do you have any suggestions?
I'll take this. Basically, what you want to do is attach yourself to somebody who is. So I have a couple of friends that are introverts. They don't like to talk and mumble too much. They don't like to, be really active and whatnot. But they've kind of attached themselves to me, and so when I'm in Mumble, they go into Mumble with me and they listen, and I kind of just through my natural conversation bring things up, and then they kind of like speak up and be like, oh hey, I want to do that too, and then they go that way. Mumble to me is the huge tool. Bell, you were going to say something earlier though when Mumble was brought up. You said the thing about Mumble is, and I don't think you finished your thought.
No, that's kind of what I was going to talk about. Like Mumble is a great tool, and we all use it when we're raiding and stuff like that. But I was just saying, like for somebody who's not used to going into Mumble and like just engaging in conversation with people.
Right.
What kind of suggestions would you have for somebody like that? I mean, because it's a great tool. It's a blast. I mean, Mumble's awesome, but
so we have the forums.
Okay.
So you can go look at the forums and you can find teams that way. And as a matter of fact, one of my favorite raiders, Devlin, she's her from Twitter, Bell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and in game. I'd never met her before. She signed up on my forum post and for Saturday Night Fever, and we've been great friends ever since. So you could definitely do it that way. That's one tool. Another way to do it is just to watch CTR LFG.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times that's where I mainly spam. If I'm looking for people, I just say, hey, I'm looking for a tank for my raid at this time and whatnot, and then you can just message me and say, hey, I want to give it a shot. I want to tank. The thing is just to watch for the way somebody's wording things. So in other words, when I word my raid advertisements, I'm saying, you know, newbie friend is worded somewhere in there. And if you're a new person, look for that kind of invite so that you can go, you know what, I'm going to be comfortable in this raid because this guy's going to be patient and he's going to let me learn. And I think that's one of the big things for raid leaders that we need to do, is that we need to be willing to either bring on the new person or say up front, I don't want somebody who's new. This is a hardcore progression. Or if you're not hardcore progression and you're willing to teach somebody else, to give somebody else a shot, say that. Say that in your invite. I think sometimes what is really intimidating is when us as raid leaders go and say, I need this eye level, this gear level, this, and that kind of makes the person immediately go like, ooh, they're hardcore. And when you're not being hardcore, you're just kind of putting out your
minimum expectations.
Right, but at the same time, sometimes the way we present that information can turn people off. As far as the clicky comment, as far as the guild goes, like you said, Bell, that's going to happen whenever you get a group of people together. We're going to group up with people who we like, and there's going to be some people we don't like, and we're going to stay away from those people. That's normal. The way the I Am Dunlock thing got started was that I didn't know anybody. I hung out in Mumble. And again, this goes to, I'm an extrovert, I'm that guy. But I just said to everybody, I said, I am Dunlock. And somebody new would come in, and I would say, I am Dunlock. And I was like,
if you say it enough times, they'll know.
Are going to get to know my name.
and I used to just greet everybody when they would come in. I would
That's how I met Jay.
I would just greet everybody as they came in. But I was kind of shy when I first came over. I came over with a group of guys from my server, and we would kind of hang out in our own channel, and then we started hanging out in Blue Recluse, and I started meeting people, other raid leaders, and man, they've helped me like with strats. You know, I go to like Kleptic and just Davix, Zoid. I've talked to a lot of other raid leaders about strats if my team's having issues, and they've really helped me and my group along. So I really suggest it.
I think the main thing to consider is that, you know, a lot of what this guild is about is that you're going to get out what you put in. It's all about participation. Even if, you know, if you're not the type of person who's all that social and doesn't want to talk and mumble, don't hesitate to jump in regardless, especially if you're grouping up with someone, because it's an opportunity to just at least sort of be part of it, be part of the conversation, get more comfortable, that kind of thing. I know for myself, like on my Monday Flex team, we take pretty much all comers. We do check, you know, and one of the, like I said, one of the things I wanted to address is not everyone's rolling in gold. We get that, but as a raid lead, what I look for is, I don't care if you used that, you know, that gem that cost 1 gold instead of the gem that cost, you know, 500.
It better be gemmed.
Yeah, at least show that you're putting the effort in on your tune. And you know, that's what I look for, because that says to me, here's someone who's putting themselves out there and taking the time to make sure they're ready. And I give those people all the time in the world.
Yeah, you've been patient with me.
Is just kind of just being proactive. You know, like you can't just sit back and say, okay, because you don't have to be an extrovert to be proactive. You know what I mean? So you come into the guild and you're like, okay, I want to do this and I want to do that. You know, get on the forums and just try make an effort to. You don't have to be real social about it, but make an effort to like put yourself out there.
Yeah,
you know,
and as far as the forums go, Navix actually just recently put together a fantastic post, which if I can send you the link, if I can send you the link, we can maybe attach it to the show. It's a great post about how to be ready for 5.4, which I know. Like, I took a look at it and went, yeah, this is perfect, because what it does is it helps consolidate a lot of the tools that we have in the guild. It kind of puts them all in one spot for you to say, here's what you need to know.
I mean,
I'll tell you how Navix got known he was like, his first day into the guild, he pugged in with my group. He was like the super nice guy. He was like, he was just like a really nice guy. And then he came in with us on Ladies' Night when I was doing Ladies' Night, and he was like, really pumping up the girls and stuff. And
You wore a skirt.
Oh.
Yeah. Thought you
Navix.
wore a skirt that night, right?
That's right. Yep. My pink armor.
It's not a skirt. It's a kilt.
I mean, I brought him in on a 10-man, and I was making him kill some 25-man. It was crazy. Remember?
Oh, that was
yeah,
that
it's Tordos. I was sitting in general chat. It was my first night in the guild, and Jade's coming up. I need a tank. I was like, okay, I'll come. I don't mind. You know, I'm waiting to get settled with my raid team, and she's said, hey, have you ever done Tordos before? I said, nope. She's like, come on. That's why, you know, that's what people that are new to the guild need to understand, that if you just say, hey, look, I'm new, I'd like to come with you guys on this LFR that you're running, I'd like to come with you on this flex that you're running, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, yeah, come on, you're going to get an invite within seconds.
Just make yourself available.
Exactly, exactly. Wait, don't run that LFR by yourself. Don't run a flex, you know, with random people outside the guild. That's why we have so many people in this guild. It's fantastic. Something's always happening around the clock.
Absolutely.
A couple other things to consider too. I mean, there's lots of great resources that actually have sort of people behind them instead of just the forums as well. I'm sure Lou was on the show earlier, giving everybody a little raid update.
Well, yeah, she usually does that. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the perfect person to talk to, because as all the raid liaisons have a better feel for who needs what and who's looking for anything than anybody else does.
Right. Everything that everybody said is great advice. The only thing that I want to stress is, because I'm just thinking about the person who is like just started playing this expansion, you just got a character to level 90, maybe you joined CTR at level 15 and you've been coming up the whole way and you still don't feel plugged in, you're getting a little discouraged, and you don't know what an enchant is, you don't understand what gems are. Just ask somebody. And I am Dunlock. If you see me in Mumble, I am in there as Dunlock. I'm in game usually as all my tunes usually start with Dun, D-U-N. So there's Dunlock, Dunmore, Dunkey, Dun Rock, whatever. Dun. Okay. Just whisper me and be like, hey man, I'm new to the game. I know I need some help. The thing you want to make sure you don't do is, number one, ask for gold. Don't ask for people to give you the materials. You gotta, if you want to know how to earn the materials or how to farm up the materials, as we say, just ask. We'll tell you. And sometimes you might get somebody in a good mood where they'll kick you a couple gems or custom gold or whatever to help you get started. But don't ask for it. Always just, hope maybe for the charity, but never expect the charity, is the way of saying it. And another thing is, if you don't have an attitude of entitlement, if that makes sense. In other words, don't act like because you're in CTR that you should be getting help. That's not our responsibility. We're here. We're playing a game too, right? This isn't a job for us. We're not customer service reps. We're not representing Blizzard. We're gamers, and we're hanging out. And we love to help other gamers, and we love to hang out with other gamers. But we also don't like other gamers putting a burden on us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Community, teamwork, and respect.
And respect. Yeah, exactly. Now I've seen one or two. Like, people come to the guild and go, hey guys, how's it going? Can I have some gold? Hey guys, how's it going?
Work.
I just started playing MOP. Can I get a tanking
I'll just
weapon?
send them to sushi.
Don't be don't be.
Teach a man to fish.
I didn't put it out there, bro. That was me.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Also, I saw someone getting upset because they asked a guildie to group up with them, and the guildie didn't group up with them, and they're like, what are you doing? Why didn't you just like that? Well, not everyone wants to be social all the time. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're about to get invited to the raid group.
Right.
Maybe they're in a queue for something.
Or maybe you just want to chill. Sometimes I log into the game.
I just want to chill.
And before you explode, before anybody explodes or gets upset or angry, just before you type that in the guild chat or get upset and go make a forum post, think, filter, and then speak, and ask yourself: am I behaving like I normally do, like I really want to portray?
Exactly.
I think one of the biggest things is that if you're looking for groups, if you're looking to get involved, CTR LFG is a great place to be for that. Guild chat's a great place for general conversation. Like, all of the tools and all of the things we need are in place. There's a lot of great ways to interact with this community. And I think a lot of times, trying to dig through and find that information in the forums or whatever is hard to find. I think the biggest thing, and I know we've all seen it, where someone says in guild chat, I can't find a raid group, and the conversation continues, and people give advice, and eventually it just gets to the point where the conversation devolves to the point where they say, well, make a raid group. So I'm curious to hear what everybody else's sort of opinion is on, how does somebody go about making a raid group? How do you sort of wrap your brain around that whole concept?
I think making a raid group's a lot tougher than just go, hey guys, go make a raid group. Oh, it sounds easy, but when you tell somebody that, they think, oh, I'm going to make a raid group tonight, and it's going to get done in the next 30 minutes.
Ready to go. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not going to work like that. You're going to at least take a couple weeks to get it built up. Get the word around, see who you want to group up with, and see what works for a group. I mean, if it's a warrior and one healer and the rest of them are hunters, that might not work out.
Okay, I have something to say.
Maybe a paladin.
I actually give that advice a lot, and I don't necessarily give it out about a raid team. But I have a friend of mine who is on my team, whom I speak to every single day, and he is a very, very talented player.
Drop his name.
And a leader. I'm not gonna, because I'm about to talk crap about him.
Okay.
I tell him all the time. He's like, oh, but I didn't get to do this. I'm like, dude, well, just you've got clout. You're really popular. Start a group. About Flex. He wanted me to start a Flex group. And I was like, no, I run an LFR group. I don't want to start a Flex group. He's like, well, we really need a Flex group. You know what? We do need a Flex group. Start one. And
or join one. Gumby Raiders, Tuesday and Thursday nights.
There we go.
5:30 service.
Rex Flex on Mondays.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what happened?
Saturdays.
What happened was we joined Rex's group on Monday. Is what we did. But yeah, that's why you had 25 people in there, right?
Nice.
And sometimes it really is that easy. I had someone get mad at me the other day because we were running Ordos, the world boss on the Timeless Isle, and I said at first I went to LFG, CTR LFG. Invited those people, and anyone who whispered me got in. Cool, whatever. And then I went to trade because I don't discount other people on our server. I think that we've got a dynamic server, and we can use people from other guilds. Mm-hmm. So I go to trade chat, invite them, and suddenly I've got 40 people, and they're ready to go. Okay, and then I've got people going, oh, I need to summon. Well, get the next group. Oh, sorry, we pulled the boss. Someone pulled it. Yeah, we didn't want to wait 10 minutes,
Right.
And they get mad at me because I'm not a tank. I don't know why they're mad at me, but because I didn't hold back the other 38 people. I'm like, well,
he respawns.
Join the next group. He
Exactly.
responds. Join the next group. He responds in like 30 seconds. They're like, oh, but now I don't have a group. You know what I did to make that group? /CTRLFG.
Yeah.
Who wants Ordos?
Yep.
Okay, and not everyone knows my toon name, and especially not on the server. People on the server certainly don't know who the heck I am, but they just flocked to that group, killed Ordos real quick, got their loot, got their gold, whatever. Mm-hmm. It really is as simple as typing in a general chat.
Yep.
I don't know how much I could stress that. It doesn't take a special person to flip the convert to raid.
And did you have to look at the forums? Did you have to be
to make an Ordos
dynamic
group?
and mumble? Right. Did you have to be dynamic and mumble? Did you have to have an extrovert personality?
Not at all. I just added a few people.
So, there you go.
Gave everyone assist and said, everybody invite.
Yep.
Until we got 40 people. Oh, we've got 7 tanks. Fantastic.
Yep.
Let's go.
I think too, a lot of times people are nervous about trying to start their own group or lead their own raid group. And I mean, I don't know how most teams work. I know how the teams that I've always been involved in work, where everyone kind of has a voice. Yes, somebody's in charge, somebody makes the decision, but everybody kind of has a voice. So don't be afraid to start a team. Don't be afraid to get involved that way. Have some people and ask them for their help.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't have to be a hardcore heroic raider to start a raid team.
No.
No, not at all. Not at all. The other
No, I'm
thing,
living
you
proof
know,
of that, man.
don't be afraid to ask the people in guild. You know,
Yeah.
I know myself. I'm perfectly willing to talk to anybody about raid leading. I'm sure everybody else here doesn't mind.
Right.
I couldn't tell anyone about raid leading. I'll tell you that right now, because
Nonsense, Sal. I've been in your Tuesdays.
Yeah. Your flex team is about
my
It's
my
1, 2,
LFR
3,
team.
Hero.
Or that's what I mean. Yeah,
What?
yeah. I automatically discount LFR anymore, man. It's out of my mind.
Okay. What did I do, Rex? What did I do on the protect? Did LFR on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we walked into the protectors, the second boss in LFR, and what did I say?
You asked for help. You asked me to give it a quick and dirty breakdown.
Yep.
I said, guys, I don't really know this. Rex, take over.
Yep.
I didn't ask. I just told Rex to do it.
But that's all it takes to be a raid lead, though.
Right.
Just make sure you have Rex on your team.
No,
Well,
seriously. All you do
Rex is
is
going to be raiding 7 days a week.
you look for where your strengths are. If someone's better at this, then
I'm sure we're running a little slow on time, so I don't.
Huh?
What? You cut out Dunlop?
I don't want to. I don't want to just
We
keep
got a
going
couple
on
more
and on.
minutes.
So
We got about
I'll
2 or
try
3
to
more minutes. We'll wrap it up here in a couple.
But I started a raid team. When I joined Saturday Night Fever, or excuse me, when I joined CTR, there was not a raid that raided on Saturday nights in the time frame that I wanted to raid in. So I started one. It's called Saturday Night Fever, and I had a couple of friends already that were interested in joining up. So that helps to have a few people you're already talking with to coalesce a team around. It took about a good month of to get traction. I kind of thought the first night that we got together we're just going to run 5-mans, and ended up being able to plug in a couple of the people and got a raid team going. That first night, Amenethus, who's now one of my best friends in game, he's my co-tank at Saturday Night Fever, and he's an amazing guy. He knows the fights, and he was he actually raided with the casuals with Derry's team for a while. So he's a really good player.
He's on all 3 of my teams.
Right. And he used to be on all 3 of mine, but he jumped one of mine to join hers. But we'll talk about that later. I would have done the same thing. I mean, just saying, ladies, you know. But so, anyways, I didn't know a whole lot to begin with, and then I started learning. Like, okay, people expect this from me to know the strats. Well, duh, right? So I need to buckle down and learn the strategies. People expect me to be able to get the invites out on time, so I need to organize my roster and stay up on the forums. You'll just naturally learn what you have to do while you're doing it, because basically your teammates will kind of expect it of you, and they'll kind of start asking questions. How come we don't have this? And you go, oh, well, that's because I haven't done it yet. Hang on, I'll work on it next week. And I learned with that one team, and I just raided one night a week. I started real small, and now I'm got a whole other team that I'm leading as well on Tuesday, Thursdays, and I got a third one that I'm just on because I don't want to raid lead 3 teams, but it's if I could do it, anybody can do it, is what I'm saying, and it doesn't have anything to do about having a dynamic personality. It just has to do with being able to put together and organize people. That's the biggest thing with raid leading, and if you can organize, you have a shot of being a good raid leader, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So
I mean, Sal's a perfect example. I mean, look at how the Senate does it, where they've got, one person who's in charge of handling invites and making sure they've got backups. They got one person who's in charge of strategy, one person who's in charge of taking care of the healers, and one person in charge of the melee, and so on and so forth. They rely on their strengths and they break it up. You don't have to be, the ultimate raider, to be a raid lead. All you got to do is be able to organize, delegate, and focus on where your strengths are.
So Navik,
Yes.
what's one thing you tell to somebody who, just one piece of advice before we close? We're going to be closing up here in a second, but what's one tip you got for someone who's looking for a raid team and is having a hard time finding one? You got one piece of advice for somebody? We're going to get this information from everybody, and then we're going to wrap it up.
All right. If you're having trouble finding a raid team, first, again, visit the forums. If that's not working out for you, we have raid liaisons you can talk to, and they might be able to help you find a group. But Rex touched on this, where market yourself. Go out, watch videos, gem and enchant your gear, and make sure you know what you're doing to help a raid group out, other than just showing, hey, I'm here, I want to raid. Do you know how to do a fight? Well, no, never seen it. Just go watch a boss video fight or something like that. But yeah, that's about.
Okay.
That's about
What about you, Jade? You got any tips for anybody looking for a team, or anything you could suggest for somebody?
Well, I would jump in like as a fill-in because I've gotten a couple of guys just over the last week because I've lost 3 people in a week because they're taking a break from WoW. Just having them fill in, and I'm like, hey, you want a full-time spot here? So maybe just get in the LFG and just try to fill in for a couple of teams, let them see what you're about.
Okay. Rex, any last parting words?
Participate. Nobody will know who you are if you don't jump into stuff. You know, you're never gonna sort of get familiar with the community if you don't participate in the community.
Okay.
You get out what you put in.
Definitely. And what about you, Dunlock? Any last words?
Yeah, don't be afraid to suck. That's seriously. A lot of people like let their fear of being a bad player hold them back. Real quick story. I had a hunter that joined Saturday Night Fever, and he had all LFR gear and Valor gear, and he told me I'd never been in a normal raid before. He says, I'm really nervous, and I'm afraid I'm going to mess up your raid. And I said, dude, don't sweat it, man. This is what we're about. I'm so excited that you're with us. Come on in. He got in. Dude was like number 2 on my DPS chart. He's dropping traps like just left, right, and center, CCing mobs, silencing, everything. I was like thinking, like, dude, this guy's freaking amazing. I told him that. I was like, dude, you're an amazing raider. What are you worried about, And he built his confidence up a little bit, and then he left my team and joined a serious raid team. But
I was gonna say, yeah, that's what happens when you get that.
Awesome. All right, Sal, any last parting words?
Hey guys, I really appreciate y'all coming on tonight. And look, we're on video tonight.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, and I really appreciate Dunlock not wearing his mask.
Yeah.
Well, this is the real Dunlop.
I am Dunlop.
I like it.
What was that? What did you just show, Navix? What was that?
I said internet pound.
Oh.
Oh.
That's your hand.
Awesome.
Dylan's start showing the thumbs again.
Oh, jeez, that was weird. All right, we're gonna wrap it up, guys. I would just say, just be proactive. Don't be afraid of people in the guild, man. No one's gonna troll you. Just come in there, be active, be social.
No, I will troll you.
Right.
Well, no one besides Sal.
If you get trolled, it's in love.
It's a love troll. You know what I'm saying? Be social.
Love troll.
Just rub my
It's
belly.
a mega guild, man. Take advantage
Sal's
of it,
on the
you know what I mean?
welcoming committee. It's her job to troll you.
That's right. Yeah.
Soon we'll be making another.
Wow.
I don't know. Okay, sorry.
All right.
No,
on that note, we're gonna wrap up this roundtable, guys. It's been a while, so thanks again for coming. It's a blast. Real quick, man. We can't go out without a little shout out action. You got 5 seconds, man. Shout out, real quick, Navix. You got anything?
Yeah, shout out to the Boats and Hosen crew. Last night we got Nazgrim down after 2 attempts. One attempt, we killed him on the next one. And another shout out to my wife who just started playing.
Awesome.
Oh,
She just started playing. She got to level 27 last night. And
sweet.
Yeah.
All right, good deal. Jaded, any shout outs?
Oh, of course, we wipe from front to back, Honey Badgers, and Saturday Night Fever.
Okay, and Area of Effect, man, the podcast.
Oh, Area of Effect?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got
All
us
of
covered.
our, yeah, I figured
I got us
Dunlock.
covered.
I'm all plugging your show.
He'll cover
All right,
it.
Rex,
Thanks.
what you got, man?
Shout out to our team for the win, of
Yes,
course.
yes.
And shout out to all of my Monday, Rex's super fun last chance before reset Raiders.
That's the best name ever.
Rex loves flex.
Rex loves flex. Dunlock, you got a little shout out, man?
Yeah, I want to shout out to my lovely co-host, Jaded Heels. I
Oh.
love her to death. She's amazing. Check out Press Y. Remedies puts on a good show over there, and I'm fortunate to be part of that. She also just started up Blizz Masters Network, so check that out. She's got a couple shows that have joined that. Jade and I are on Area of Effect. We record usually on Monday nights, Sunday to Monday nights, and it's out by Tuesday. So look for us on Stitcher, iTunes, and you can follow us at our website, AOEcast.com.
All right. Well, guys, that wraps it up. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks with the new roundtable. So thanks again.
Bye.
Take care.
Peace.
All right, guys.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?